What's up, y'all? It's Jahkarii and I'm back with another video. As you guys can see by the title of this video, I'll be talking about how worldly rap music and how hip-hop culture as a general whole, as a collective, will lead millions and millions of people, generations per se, to a burning hell. So, I have my notes here on my computer like I did last time. You guys can't see my computer, but if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at my notes and the camera's right here. So for the opening, so before I really get deep into this video, I want to quote this quote by this guy named Larry Winger, and the quote says, literally, people hate the truth. Luckily, the truth doesn't care. I'm also going to add and say that the truth does not spare feelings. Yeah, with that, let's get into the video. So the intro of this video, hello once again. I just kind of felt the need to come on here and talk about today's rap music in today's society, and how I'll be sending millions and millions of people to a burning hell. As you can see in the title, I literally mean what I say. No regrets. I didn't mean to say it another way. I meant to say it just how I said it. Just like that, period. Let's get into it. So a lot of you guys don't know that the first rappers were actually Christian. They were a group called the Jubilaires, if I'm saying that right, and they were out around the 1940s. They were an American gospel group active between 1940 and 1950, previously known as the Royal Harmony Singers in 1936. The band was known for song verses delivered in a rhythmic, rhyming style that has been described as early version of what we know today as rapping. They literally started this from the ground up, and if you really think about it, some of their songs include songs like Ezekiel, Noah, Wade in the Water, John Saw the Number, and My God Called Me This Morning. And those are just to name a few. I want you guys to look at this performance of them performing their song entitled Noah. And yes, as in the Noah who built the ark back in the Bible days to save his family and the animals from God flooding the earth. So take a look at this performance, and then yeah, we'll talk about it after.
Well, it's over and over. Oh, Noah. Oh, Noah. God's gonna ride on the winning tide. Well, it's over and over. Oh, Noah. Oh, Noah. God's gonna ride on the winning tide. Brother Noah, my God's talking. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Hey, children, stop still and listen to me. God walked down to the briny sea. He declared that the aim was the sent from man, and then he decided to destroy the land. He spoke to Noah. Noah stopped. He said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 cubits long. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 50 high and 50 wide, so it will stand the wind and tide. It's oh, Noah, oh, Noah. Oh, Noah, God's gonna ride on the winning tide. Well, it's a oh, Noah, oh, Noah, oh, Noah, God's gonna ride on the winning tide. God's gonna ride on the winning tide. God's gonna ride on the winning tide. Oh, Noah, brother Noah, my God's talking. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Well, after the foundation was laid, then Noah began to hew and build. The ringing of the hammer cried judgment, the hewing of the saw cried sin, repent. 100 years he hammered and sawed, building the ark by the grace of God. When the ark was done, God's voice was heard. He said, now Noah, let me tell you what to do. Call in the animals 2 by 2, so he called them in the ark 2 by 2. He called the birds, the ox with the kangaroo, then he called in Japheth, the ham and Shem. Then God began to flood the land. He raised his hands to heaven on high, shook the stars and moon from the sky, shook the mountain, he troubled the sea, hit the wind to his chariot wheel. He stepped on land, stood on the shore, and declared that time there wouldn't be no more. But it's oh, Noah, oh, Noah, oh, oh no, God's gonna ride on the winning tide.
Okay, so yeah, as you guys can see, these were actually Christian. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's on you. But the first rappers were actually Christian. So with that being said, you're probably wondering, what does that have to do with this video? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Now let's get into it. So basically, we're here once again to see that the devil has gotten into the heads of people and has whispered into their ears and has taken something that was God-given and perverted it for his own selfish desires, as he does with everything else that has God in it or God all over it. It's no surprise that he will do that with rap. Early rap wasn't so bad when it pertained to the Lord and his mightiness and his sovereignty. It's the new rap now in this day and age that we must worry about. So, for the first topic at hand, guns. So yes, now let's dive a little deeper. So as we look at mainstream rap culture, it's no secret that it literally has went to hell, came back, went to hell, came back, and went to hell and came back again. As we literally look at today's rap, it's honestly sad, and I fear for the future generations, honestly, that have to grow up listening to such filth. We look at them and see that they're obsessed and infatuated with guns. And it's like, what is it with y'all and guns? It's like, for me personally, I can never see myself playing with a gun, even if it is on safety or it doesn't have any bullets in the chamber or anything like that. Because let's just say you accidentally pop yourself in the head, or you accidentally pop your cameraman when you're shooting your little music video. You know what I'm saying? I could just never see myself playing with a gun. And you know, I want you guys, it's just weird. And then when something does happen with the gun, you have a funeral and you expect people to be crying at your funeral when y'all were literally playing with guns in your funeral, in your video. And you know, you popped your little camera guy, or you popped one of your homeboys, and now everyone's supposed to be saying R.I.P., R.I.P., R.I.P. and crying, and you know, respect to the dead. But you know, there's a saying that says, if you know better, you do better. So yeah, let's just look at this news clip and you tell me what y'all think about it.
Police break up a rap music video shoot that included guns. Police say 6 people, including teenagers, were arrested at a North Side apartment complex. That's where officers say the teens were waving the guns around in the air. KENS 5 reporter Troy Kless was on the North Side and spoke with a neighbor about his concerns.
On Dresden Drive near Blanco Road.
Very quiet street in general, with the exception of this complex right here that's always there's cops there at that complex almost every weekend.
Police were here again on Saturday night after receiving a call that 13 teenagers were recording a music video waving guns in the air.
What the police told us was that there was a lot of high-powered weapons involved, a lot of like prop money, and some drugs apparently.
Police say they made a tactical approach to the group, asking them to drop their weapons. While some suspects complied, some ran away. SAPD says 9 people total were detained and 4 guns, including an AR-style pistol, were found.
I don't know where they're getting them from, but they are going to continue to get them no matter what, in my opinion.
And police say video evidence helped identify who had each gun that was recovered. Sendejo relieved the guns were taken out of their hands.
What if one of those weapons were to discharge accidentally and somebody gets hurt or killed or a child gets injured? So that's kind of the worry.
The San Antonio Police Department says of 9 people that were detained, 6 of them were arrested and 3 were released here at the scene. Troy Kless, KENS 5.
Okay, so we watched that news clip and it's just like, what is y'all's issue? Like, y'all are teenagers. Y'all are literally teenagers. Don't y'all need to be in school or in a library or something, or on a basketball or a football field? What are y'all doing playing with guns? Like, now y'all have charges that you cannot get rid of. You will not be exonerated for these charges because you did these charges. People witnessed it. Like, you're teenagers. Like, you're throwing your whole life away to follow a lifestyle. And it's just like, I just don't get it. It's like, open up a book, educate yourself. What are y'all doing toting guns around and having guns at a freaking music video? The devil is really running rampant, and you can see that this rap culture is really drowning out the minds of these youth, and they see that these big rappers and they want to do what they do, and 9 times out of 10 the big rappers will allegedly end up in jail sooner or later You know, a lot of them have gun charges and murder charges associated with their name, but that's just the industry, and that's just the image that they want to push out to the media and to the children that are watching this, because children have influence, and these influencers are pushing out that message. A lot of 9 times out of 10, that's where they're headed. And I mean, just look at why NV Melly, if I'm saying his name right, he's in jail allegedly for offing his 2 friends. I mean, that may have been his little sacrifice to get higher in the industry. But if you notice, his music has skyrocketed ever since. He's been behind the metal bars, you know. But hey, you be the judge. This dude also has a song that blew up called, quote, Murder on My Mind. And if you look up on YouTube, that song or video literally has over 500 million views. And here are the lyrics, some of the lyrics, but of course I'll slow it down for copyright purposes. So yeah, we've heard the lyrics, and it's just like, I look at him and I'm like, yeah, he did that. Like, he looks like he did that mess. Like, it's like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just don't know what it is. And then the young people will see this and be like, oh, that looks cool, or I want to live this hard gang lifestyle. Like, it's just not. It's just not. Next topic I want to get into is drugs. Must I go over the drugs? I guess I have to, because it's a part of this video, and especially the weed segment. But I mean everything I say, and I say everything that I mean, so let's continue. So we know that with rap and drugs on the rise, a lot of rappers are smoking weed and drinking lean. And if you don't know what lean is also known as purple drink or perp, and it has several other names. And it's a recreational drug beverage prepared by mixing prescription strength cough or cold syrup containing codeine and something else I can't even pronounce with a soft drink. Usually the soft drink is usually Sprite. Yeah, it's usually Sprite. So basically it's cough syrup and any soda of your choosing, basically, like I said, but the main soda is basically Sprite. Like, are you crazy? What are y'all doing drinking cough syrup and drinking, like, congestion? Like, what are y'all doing consuming that if you don't have a cold? Like, it's just really crazy. It's just really a sick world out here. And I'll say it, like, some people consume lean, and just because they consume lean, they feel like the lean will make their music sound better than it really does. I think it's delusion, if you ask me. But let's watch the video on how they make this crap. So we watched the video, and like I said, lean will have people thinking that their music sounds better than it really does, because they're so high off the lean and they can't think straight. So they think that the music is hitting, and they think that it's this and that, but the music is trash. But you know, that's just my opinion. So yeah, we've seen that where rap is headed, and or should I say, that's where rap is right now. A lot of rappers think this is cool, and since they have influence in the younger generation that's watching them, it's going to be like, oh wow, yes, that looks interesting, let me try it. And then when they're hooked on it, they're hooked on it. I mean, let's just take it from Juice WRLD. May he rest in peace. May he rest. I'm not going to say rest in peace, because the only people that are resting in peace are the people that knew Jesus. I'm just saying, but I will say may he rest. But he said it best concerning drugs, and this is what he had to say.
My relationship with drugs now, I try my best to stay away from them. Obviously, we're all human, we're not perfect. That is something that I highly recommend people do not dive into, because it is a really deep hole to climb out of. That's pretty much what I can say about it. I'm learning from my mistakes.
It was something that I was into early, low-key, due to music. Because, like, I was a music head, so, like, in 6th grade, 7th grade, I'm hearing songs about sipping lean. Those are, like, the real influential years, I feel like, especially for, like, a boy. Like, finding out who your role models are, what you like, basketball, football. That's, like, when you start kind of choosing the dreams you want to chase, damn near.
Right.
So, like, 6th, 7th grade, I was hooping, I was playing baseball. I was good at both at the time. But I was also, like, freestyling, and I was really into music. Like, I used to damn near worship the shit. Like, I was into music so much. So my family putting me on to all this different music, Future, Gucci, all these niggas talking about drugs, bro.
You can't help but ignore how fun or how interesting, at least, they're making Xans and Lean and all this shit sound.
Yeah, bro. Like, when I heard Future, the first song I ever heard by Future was Ain't No Way Around It. The second song I've ever heard by Future is Dirty Sprite, like off the first Dirty Sprite mixtape.
So y'all heard what he had to say, and basically he said it literally. He was influenced by the music. That just goes to show you how powerful music is, but y'all don't want to hear that, so I'm just gonna move on. But you know, a lot of these rappers and are hooked on weed and other drugs, but especially weed, because weed seems to be the biggest one. And a lot of them don't even know the long-term effects that weed has on the body. Weed leads to memory loss, delayed coordination, and a lot of them can't even seem to remember what they did the night before. They can't even catch a ball if you throw it to them because they're slow. It also causes respiratory issues, and then they'll wonder why they're 60 and 70 years old and they can't breathe right if the Lord lets them see that age, and they wonder why they can't breathe right, and they wonder why they're on a ventilator having a machine breathe for them because they chose to smoke weed all day long. They smoked weed all their life. They never chose to put the blunt down, you know. And they wonder why they can't breathe regularly. They can't even hold their breath for more than 2 seconds. They can't rap like they used to. They can't hold their breath because they've been smoking weed all day, every day. They never gave it a rest, and now they're wondering why they can't breathe the same. You know, a lot of them are just slow, and a lot of them smoke and drink all day. That's why their pee is as yellow as a yellow crayon, and you just, you know, it's just really crazy. But you know, some people just have to learn the hard way, and that's a sad reality, but it's reality. Some people literally have to fall and bump their head for them to learn, and some people just aren't interested in learning, so that's just unfortunate. But I will say, when it comes to weed, hip-hop culture really does a good job, I should say, in promoting it. But I will say, weed it wasn't bad at first, but like I said, the devil has taken it and perverted it, because God created weed for medicinal purposes. When people smoke it to get high and fill a void that will never truly be filled, because they're trying to fill that void with worldly pleasures. That's why they smoke all day, because they're trying to fill the void, and it can never clearly be filled because they're trying to fill it with smoking weed. Weed was meant for medicinal purposes that is actually prescribed by a licensed doctor. Then that's a different story. But if you're gonna smoke it just because you want to smoke it and fill a void and get high all day long, that's a whole nother story. And you know, people are gonna see that and they're gonna smoke weed and they're gonna drink lean and pop pills, pop mollies and Percocets and do coke, heroin, smoke cigarettes and inhale embalming fluid. And you know, they're gonna do all this crazy stuff, like I said earlier in the video, and lead themselves to an early grave. And they see the rappers doing it, and the rappers, that's why a lot of them are dying off, because that's one of the reasons why they're dying off. I'm not gonna say the other reason, but you know, that's a lot of reason why a lot of these rappers are dying off, or they'll get like a whole bunch of charges in them because they have all these drugs. And the children see that and influence on that, and that's what they become. So I'm sorry to say this, but I really feel like everyone should learn from Juice WRLD. Leave the drugs alone. But like I said, some people are going to be too hard-headed, and some people are going to literally have to fall and bump their head 1 million times before they get the memo. But hopefully by then it won't be too late. So I also want to get into assets. A lot of rappers and celebrities owe their record labels millions of dollars. A lot of them don't even have a dime to their name. You know, a lot of them don't own anything really but a few cars, maybe a phone, and maybe a laptop or two. I mean, you know, we seen that Fantasia interview, and she said it best, and this is what she said.
But you have more money than we have, Fantasia.
You don't know that.
Okay.
A lot of artists that you see, they look like they have it, and we smile and we come out and we put on a good show. But in real life, some of them are struggling and we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice. So I cook my own food. I don't need no chef. I'm from North Carolina. My grandma and my mama taught me how to cook.
Sammy Mack here. Hey,
shoot.
No. I'm interrupting myself.
Yeah, no, I cook my own food. I don't have a chef. I go get my own groceries. I don't have a driver. I drive my own car. That is fake. I don't want that life, or else I quit. I don't want it. It's already a lot out here in the industry. I don't want that life. I'm just like you, sis. Just like you. So no, I cook my own food. You got to pay the trainers.
Yeah, you do have to
But
pay the
sometimes
trainers.
I get people to come in and just say, yo, we just want to work with you. And, you post me and and I'm like, okay, cool. But I also tell them too that God gave you a gift and a talent and you can't always give it for free.
Yeah.
So I bless them for blessing me, But no, I cook my own food. I think you can do it yourself. And yeah, it's not that for me. And I don't want it to be that for me.
A lot of them, if not all of them, are very much lost causes. And a lot of them are in very bad record deals. A lot of them are in 360 deals. A lot of them don't see their money until it goes through 50 million people that it has to go through before they'll ever see it. And when they do see it, it's maybe like $2,000 or $3,000 out of $100,000. Look at Megan Thee Stallion. Her deal is pretty messy.
Stallion has had a great 2019 and 2020. She is catapulted into the public eye when her single, Big Ol' Freak, became a sleeper hit after entering the Billboard Hot 100 at number 99. Since then, she's launched herself into the forefront of debate on the best current female rapper, scoring major features on tracks like Chance the Rapper's Handsome. However, despite her success, accumulating over 1 billion streams, Megan claims that her label, 1501 Entertainment, has signed her to a deal that is, in her words, unconscionable. She then went on to claim that out of the roughly $7 million in revenue that she's generated in music, she's only been paid $15,000. She continued on to say that her situation was far beyond a simple mismanagement.
Yikes. So she only saw $15,000 out of the $7 million that she generated? That's honestly sad. And that's only enough to maybe pay her rent, pay a few phone bills, and maybe take her and her homegirl out to Red Lobster for some steak and lobster. That's really not enough to live the luxurious lifestyle that everyone fantasizes over. A lot of people don't know that the record labels really have no intentions on letting these artists make the money that they're supposed to make. They just hand them over the contract, pray that they don't read the fine print, and usually people just sign because they're so excited for the money that they receive up front, not knowing that they're going to have to pay back every dime times 10. And it's just really sad. It's really sad, and it really just goes to show how people are for money. So we don't know. A lot of them aren't rich as we think they are. They don't really have any assets. They rent everything, the boats, the houses that they live in. Everything is rented because it's much more cheaper to rent than it is to own. So just keep that in mind. So, I meant everything I said in this video. A lot of these rappers are really nothing. A lot of them are headed for the jail anyway, and that's just me being nice about it. I can really say it much nicer, but then I will be sugarcoating it, and there's no need to sugarcoat. A lot of them are really headed towards an early grave. A lot of them are in beefs that they don't even understand for real, and that's why a lot of them can't keep their mouths shut because they talk trash on songs. They think they're untouchable, and it's just crazy. So yeah, and I just want to talk about money for a quick second. A lot of these rappers worship and glorify money. Don't get me wrong, money is good and we definitely need it to operate in today's society and to enjoy some of the luxuries of life. But these rappers glorify money, and I guess I can understand because a lot of them don't live for Jesus Christ. So when they run into $1 million contracts, they just blow it on nonsense, and then now they're in debt, and like I said, they owe the record company. And the saying that money is the root to all kinds of evil? Well, yeah, that quote rings true in every aspect. For a lot of them, they grew up without money. So when they get it, they just go buck wild with it. But the Lord tells us in Luke 12:15, then he said, beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own. That's the NLT version for those who don't quite understand the King James version. So yeah, with the money aspect, you'll see a lot of them have money in their videos holding up stacks of money to their ears, whether it be prop money or real money. It really doesn't matter because money is money. And after they made the real money in the video, like I said, they just blow it on nonsense. You know, a lot of times it's probably real money that they're holding up to their ear because a lot of them don't even have bank accounts for real. They don't believe in getting robbed. They don't even know what a debit card looks like. They don't even know what an account and routing number is. A lot of them just carry around duffel bags full of money. As you see them, you know, they have all this jewelry on, and then they don't believe in getting robbed because a lot of them, like I said, they have their guns on them, which will probably lead to gun charges. And a lot of them, like I said, don't have bank accounts, so they carry all the cash. They use cash for everything just to show everybody that they got it. And then when somebody catches them lacking, oh, it's World War III, everybody pull the guns out. Pow, 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 pow. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. But yeah, they hold up their sacks of money. They flaunt their money. They spend it on useless things that they'll probably never even think about after they buy it, just to show off for the media and the blogs. I mean, 6ix9ine is a perfect example. Look at him holding up all this money. Yeah. Like I said, someone will be waiting for him to lack and hit a nice little lick on him. But you know what? I ain't saying nothing but a word. So let's move on. You know, I just would not fantasize to be a rapper or part of the rap world. If you're a rapper or trying to be a rapper to get into the entertainment industry, I suggest that you watch the video before this one that I did on the rituals and sacrifices because that's very much real. But yeah, I wouldn't aspire to be a rapper because a lot of them, you know, don't even have a driver's license for real. You know, a lot of them can't even count to 10. A lot of them have the intellect and education of a 3rd grader. You know, they have a lot of accountants. They don't even know how to manage their own money. They don't even know how to count to 100,000 for real. A lot of them don't even know their own social security number, let alone have seen their own social security card and knows what it looks like. So yeah, I just wouldn't fantasize living this rap lifestyle. But if you're still fantasizing it, do you, stay true to you and do what you do, but just watch your back because there are a lot of rappers out there in hip-hop culture that have to constantly look over their shoulder because they have a lot of ops. And yeah, I just don't recommend, if you're going to be a rapper, just don't talk trash on any songs. And yeah, like I said, just don't talk trash on any songs. And if people don't turn away from this rap lifestyle that is highly glorified and is not pleasing in the eyes of the Lord, they're going to lead themselves, and the rappers that follow them and the people that follow the rappers are going to lead themselves to a burning hell. You know, so right with them. So, you know, I meant everything I said, and I said everything that I meant. So that's it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe on this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.